Tuesday noon concert is very unusual and really features the clarinet in different guises. We begin with Toru Takemitsu's Rain Spell. Toru was a very unusual person, one of my closest friends, and knowing him quite well, I know the methodology behind his composing, behind his thinking about music. And this is a great example of that. One of the really idiosyncratic things about him was he could not compose until he had the title of a piece. I've never known someone like that. In the case of Rain, he had a deep fascination with everything about rain, with the sound of it, with the look of it, with the feel of it. And in the case of this piece, Rain Spell, it's not like Debussy or Ravel, who tried to actually make music sound like what rain sounds like. This is much more about the feeling of rain, how it makes one feel emotionally and physically, for that matter. It's a beautiful piece, and what's particularly striking about this music is the way it flows. Takemitsu was very fond of jazz. He actually, as a young man, had a job at an American military base in Japan where he was the DJ for dance nights. This is in the 40s, 50s, and so all of that jazz music was something he was very familiar with because he played all the records for the dancing. And in the case of this piece, a lot of it is not notated the way we normally notate rhythmic sequence in music, but it goes from instrument to instrument, listening to each other a lot like jazz ensembles do. Following this, we have my latest chamber music piece, which is a quartet, an unusual one, for clarinet, viola, cello, and percussion. It's a piece written in a form which I have gone back to many times over my life, and that is a form which involves writing little pieces, little sections. In this case, there are 6 of them. And the idea is to create a whole form from the sequence of these sections. In other words, whether they're fast or slow, whether they're inward or extroverted, and by juxtaposing the sections in a particular way, one arrives at a whole which feels organic and very emotional. To finish the program, we go to one of the great pieces of the clarinet repertoire, Brahms's Clarinet Trio. As I have spoken about before, this piece was written after Brahms had decided to retire entirely from composing, and then found himself entranced and inspired, having listened to the great clarinetist of that time, and then writing 4 really important pieces for the clarinet. The trio being one of them. This is clarinet, cello, and piano. Somewhat like one would expect a trio with the violin and cello, but in this case the clarinet being the protagonist. And therefore, because of the sound quality of the clarinet, this is very lyrical, inward music with, of course, some drama, but strikingly the slow movement, one of the great slow movements, and altogether a beautiful way to finish this concert.